Plus de 40 pays représentés pour ces 38e championnats du monde du cheval arabe au Salon du Cheval de Paris, placé sous le haut patronage de Sa Majesté le roi Mohammed VI du Maroc.
As begins Section A of the Junior Filly.
Section A of the 2-year-old fillies, right?
Yes. Number 29, Division MI from the world famed Mulliwa breeding program of Australia.
Yes.
I believe they're on their 8th generation of breeding Arabian horses. Quite an accomplishment for a private breeder. I think only some of the state studs have been breeding
Great
longer.
breeders in
high quality
yeah.
horses. You'll see them all over the world. Fun to see her today. Next in, number 32, Kaza Al Sor. It's AJ Fawaz's daughter, of a Shah El Bey daughter. Miles Buckley on the lead.
She's full of herself too. Look at her.
A lot of style to her walk.
She's prancing.
33 next in the ring with Tom Shokins, Rashidia Al Khashab, daughter of world champion Alejandro. Had one of my favorite mares, Cynthia Love, an El Nabili B daughter.
Wonderful mare.
Goes back to that Karamba line, the Magnum Psyche daughter that I just cherish as a great producer and an absolute individual. Bred by our friends at Synergy Enterprise. That's Mike Weinstein's group from the Bay Area, now owned by the Kuwaitis.
Giacomo 35, Balada Al-Fabia. She's by Alejandro out of ZT Magnum Psyche, owned by
our good friends Al Jismia.
Yeah, and bred by Al-Fabia Stud of Italy. Raphael's back in the arena with his 2-year-old filly.
Saranza, she's always in the hunt. A lot of style to Saranza.
Swerve Al Jasimia, this is number 37, just walked in the gate. By Magic One out of Baraka MP. Owned by Al Jasimia, bred by Al Jasimia.
San Ynez, California is where the horses are born and raised. Their headquarters for the farm in Doha, Qatar, but the horse main breeding program in San Ynez. Why wouldn't you raise your horses in San Ynez, California?
It's like heaven.
It is.
One of the most beautiful places in the world to raise horses.
Great terrain, great weather, great veterinarians, great people, small town, tiny place.
We've got 7 horses in this class.
There we go.
This is Giacomo's assistant. You're watching
Giuseppe.
Thankfully, we thank Al Sheikh Stud for bringing this to you today, and Arabian Essence TV for the amazing job they always do.
So these are 2- and 3-year-olds, Greg. The junior females, the junior fillies and mares. This section, all of them 2-year-olds. Very nice.
She's fancy.
A little different than the U.S. Again, we're referring back to U.S. because that's our point of reference, Greg. But ours is a relaxed walk. This is similar to Las Vegas. They can be animated. They can circle a little bit.
Show their presence and their Arabian type. Full of themselves, looking the best they can look.
Some of the handlers go full gas in this presentation, as they trot in the ring. Others walk it and save it for the individual part of the class. I like to see the different strategies. Something nice class, Greg. Really solid fillies, all with some credentials. Different than the yearlings. These guys had to qualify throughout the year to show here in Paris. The yearling fillies and colts can just show up Many have been shown throughout the year, but they can be unknowns and pop out of nowhere. Still pretty excited about the last class, Greg. Last filly in gets past 2 big marks, 2 90-point scores, ends up winning the class with a 93. They make their way back to the collection ring. There's as many people watching the show out in the collection ring as there is in here in the Coliseum.
I think a lot of people like to go out there and watch those horses warmed up. They're not in front of the crowd. They're doing their own thing, and I think they like to watch that a lot. Sort of the warm-up. Rory and me, Greg Knowles, with you, Al Sheikh Stud. Thank you so much for your sponsorship, and we're proud to be here with Arabian Essence TV in Paris, France. Salon des Cheval, Arabian World Championships 2018.
We're about ready to begin with the first entry class, the second class this afternoon. It's the junior females, 2 and 3-year-olds. These all happen to be 2-year-olds in this section A. Section A, and there'll be section B shortly. Here she is, A Vision MI, Greg, number 29.
Beautiful, enters beautiful. She's by Allegiance, excuse me, NI. Always the Valentine MI par, who is a Valentino daughter. She shows a little bit of that Valentino carriage and motion. She is owned by Alba Dyer Stud and bred by Malawa Arabian Stud, Greg Julie and Jane Farrell of Australia.
She just gave a nice big pass there.
Glenn Shokin's on the lead.
Really showing off.
She's sort of looking like she wants to be here today. She's sort of saying, look, I'm gonna do this thing.
These 2-year-olds look a little bolder than those yearlings, just maturity, but boy, she can dance at the end of that line with Glenn.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
She hasn't broke to the canter once yet. Nice job. A lot of tail carriage.
Look at her, just turned around and said, let's do it again.
I think if he stops here shortly, she's gonna blow. I think she's gonna snort and blow. She likes herself.
She's having a good day. She goes, okay, Dad, let's do this. It's not easy to ask a horse to put up all that excitement and energy at the trot, then shut down and just show.
Well presented.
Yeah, beautiful.
That's a fine neck on her.
Yeah, it is. Just gonna hit the pose here.
Nice job.
I've watched Opolo judge a lot. He likes to look at the face. He'll grab his clipboard, go up to the face, and take a look. See, the eyes look a little different at a different angle. Sometimes horses with their necks up real high, the eyes are rolled back a little bit. And so what Joe's does, I think he likes to see is that softness and that beautiful eye they have. Let them come down and look at that clipboard.
Absolutely. There's just so much to look at out there in this show, Greg. There's so much detail in the eyes, the muzzles, their soft face. They're all just, they're groomed so well. It's just, if you appreciate artwork, the Arabian horse here in Paris is a great example of living art.
You imagine these guys, how thin they have to cut these lines to pick one from another. I mean, it's just it's moments and instances that create the difference. It's
a lot of 19s and 19.5s being thrown out. And the winners of the last 2 sections had multiple 20 scores.
It's a game of inches for sure.
There she is.
Yeah, she's very, very nice.
And we got a computer up and running now, Greg, so we'll be able to help out with some scoring for those at home. Modern technology has arrived in Paris.
Should pop on our screen any minute. As soon as we get it, we'll pass it on to you.
Second filly in.
Alisla Al-Shahania. She's by Vegas DPA out of Nadira of Rohan. And she's a 2-year-old filly.
That's the daughter of RHR Air Marwan. I know that horse quite a bit.
Yeah, and of course Vegas DPA is bred by Christy Hop.
Christy and her mother.
Right, and Vegas was by Psyche out of Magic Dream's mother. Same dam as Magic Dream, so.
Yeah, by Kingston. Yep, Kingston.
That's right, Vegas. And
Vegas, the Kingston son.
yeah, we had him as a young horse. He was beautiful.
Tom Owen on the lead here. This filly's winding down her trot. He's about ready. He reels in his lunge line here, organizes his mane. He's about ready to show these guys what this filly can do in a stand-up.
This beautiful filly's owned and bred by Al Shahania of Qatar.
Very nice look.
Good look.
He takes a nice hold of the horse, steadies her.
Yeah, you can
Got a
watch.
good feel in her hand. Wish she could stand up and show. These guys are so, they've dotted I's and crossed the T's. They are ready to show this week. Horses are turned out beautifully. They're schooled. They're fit.
You cannot say they're not professional, that's for sure. These guys are doing an amazing job with their horses.
Just waiting on the scores of the first horse, number 29, Vision MI. Should be up here just in a moment. There they go. They read them into the stadium. We'll get them shortly in front of us. '19s and 19.5s across first category. Her leg scores go from 15.5 to 16s. Movements from 19 to 19.5. She gets a 91.75 to start off section A of the 2-year-old fillies. That's a Vision MI.
No 20s on that one, huh?
No 20s, but very solid scores.
Yeah, there they are.
So she scores a 91.75. Basically, her gross score is a 550.5 divided by the judges. The 6 judges representing averages her score to a 91.75. In Vegas, we use a total score. Here, the scorecard, they divide the total score, the gross score, and come up with their score somewhere in the 90s. And our winners are routinely going to be 92s and 94s at this level, we'll show.
32 Kaza Al-Sor. She's by AJ Fawaz out of TCR Rain Dancer, who's by Beishaya Lev Bey. She's bred by Abdullah Nazar Al-Kahadaidi and owned by Abdullah Nazar
From Kuwait.
Al-Hadi. Yeah, he's from Kuwait.
Kuwait had the most different individual owners with horses here at the Paris World Championships this year.
And the young Miles Buckley is on the lead again. He's got his gray suit matching his gray horse.
Three-piece suit, showing it off.
Is stylish.
That's a nice big pass for him.
A beautiful
Right
pass
there.
on that mare. A lot of substance on this mare. Good body. Nice body.
Long strided filly when she trots. Covers a lot of ground. Some fillies are up and down. Some are long strided. Just waiting on the scores of the second filly, Asile Al Shahania. Should be up here shortly.
Miles pulls her up. She's going to do her job. It's a 2-year-old filly. In case we're no longer with the yearlings. These are 2-year-olds. If you went away for a sandwich or an egg or breakfast and you come back and say, these are big. They should be. They're a year older. This is the March 27.
2016 filly.
Gray filly, yep. 216, 2 years old.
Full house today, Greg. Even overflowing to the far side.
And that's kind of fun for the first day of the show.
And here comes the scores for our second filly. 3 19.5s and 3 19s for type. Head, 4 19.5s and 2 19s for head for Azali Al Shahania. Body and top line, 19, 18, 18, 18, 5, 17, 5, 18. Body and top line scores. Legs, 15, 5, 15, 5s and a 16. And movement, 19, 5, 18, 5, 18, 5, 19, 18, 5, and a 19. Solid scores. That may not have winning the class. Number 31, Azali Al Shahania.
There you go. She's 91.17 is
Sits
her
in-
total.
Our leader, first horse in, A Vision MI 91.75. The second filly in now, second place, 91.17. Those are solid scores, but there's some room there.
Yep.
Somebody steps up and puts a big show in. Again, I think 92s, 93s are really going to take to win a class here in Paris.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This kind of competition
You're awful
with these
right.
esteemed judges. Very nice presentation. Miles's horses look ready this week.
Yeah, you know, he's here to play and here to win, and he's taking it seriously, and good for him.
His horses have to come over across the English Channel ferry boat from England. A little rougher trip than the average trip. And the guys in Italy have to go through the Alps this time of year in the weather. You can see why many of the training centers are based in northern France, Belgium, Denmark, western Germany.
This is Rashida Al-Khashab, and she's a March baby, 2016, by Alejandro, EKS Alejandro, out of the very famous mare, Symphony of Love, who was by El Nabil Abi. She is owned by Al-Khashab Stud of Kuwait, bred by Synergy Enterprise Developments USA.
That's the Mike Weinstein group.
It's the Michael Weinstein group.
They had the national champion yearling filly this year at U.S. Nationals.
And he's a great breeder and a passionate breeder, and does a great job.
Brought
Really a
Menace
good breeder.
in the country in the early 80s from Holland.
Yeah.
Had a lot of Russian horses, had some boss daughters. He's been doing it a long time. I think he told me 40 years he's been breeding Arabian horses.
Wow. This is Tom Shokins on the lead. One of the Shokin brothers, who these guys, everybody, by all accounts, everybody says these two brothers work extremely hard, very committed not only to train them, but to condition and care for their horses. Great ratings from lots of people about this family team.
Father Dennis helps out. He's kind of the jack of all trades. He's the one that you lean to anytime you need something fixed or moved or get an answer. Dennis is on it. Here she is. A lot of polish on this horse. They spent some time preparing her beautifully. This is 33, Rashidia Al-Khashab, showing Section A. And boy, she's showing. That was a nice look there, Greg, right out of the box.
Yeah.
I gravitate to the face, but that neck and shoulder is gorgeous.
I love this filly's bone over her eyes, and you know what I really enjoy watching up close is the heart of the animals. You know how beautiful they are, how they give everything to their trainers.
It's a tough environment, bud.
And they're just Arabians. They do it with their heart.
We really only have one show in the States that's similar, and that's Las Vegas. Its format is the same. The rest of our shows is the trotting, and then there's a walk-in, and they're standing around, and they build up to their stand-up centering. This is all by yourself. You run around, you're out of breath, your horse out of breath, and then you get to stand up for all it's worth with no practice, right in front of the judges, and you got to hit it.
And the guys have shown dignity and sportsmanship to present their horses the way they are, when you know how much pressure is on these guys with these beautiful bred horses, these valuable horses, and competition and what it means.
Merlot's buying into this. He is taking a second hardest look there in center ring. Everybody else about done, and Merlot's still enjoying this horses.
Those are your scores from the last exhibitor, Rory.
Nice. We have a tie at second place, so 3 horses in. Our winner leading the class right now, A Vision MI, 91.75. The next 2 horses, Asli Al Shahani and Kaza Al Sor, both score a 91.17. Again, top 4 automatically qualify for Sunday's championship from each section, A and B. That gives us 8 top 10 horses, and the final 9th and 10th place come from the 5th place or higher or lower scored horses.
And Miles cracked on his movement at a 20.
He did a nice job.
He got a lot of motion. He got high scores in his
2
movement.
19.5s as well for movement.
He worked hard and he ran hard. His horse trotted beautifully, and he was rewarded with a 20 there. Balada El Alfabia. She is by EKS Alejandro out of ZT Magna Psyche. She's by ZT Magnanimous. Owner Al Jassimia Stud, Al Jassimia Farm. The breeder Alfabia Stud.
Right out of Italy.
From Italy, yep. And
Great
Jaco
treasures down there in Italy.
Kapashi is on the lead. Again, this gentleman will give you everything he's got.
Maybe people don't know. He had knee surgery last winter.
Yeah,
he went through last season hurt, and you couldn't tell.
And not that the other guys don't try 100%. but Giacomo always seems to just give you, like he might bang on a wall. He's just intense. He has a dream and he says, come follow my dream. And he does a great job. And like you said, he was injured for a little part of the year and he had his knee done. Seems to be all good now.
He toughed it up. He just taped it up and go last year. Finished out the season, had this knee surgery over the winter. He's good to go now. Nice stand up. Again, we appreciate that coming from the United States.
Beautiful stand
But it's easy to look at, and these guys are all doing a fine job, but that one could really stack up. Sure is easy to look at when they walk right into their stand-up. First attempt. It sure just sells it. It's impressive.
She has a lot of flow. She's got her shoulder comes up, her neck comes out well. She's short backed.
Clean
she's
throat.
Into her hip and loin, clean throat.
Deep-bodied filly.
Yep, carries her tail and
She's
really nicely, and still very refined in her bone, in her legs.
She might bump past these fillies. 91.75's the leader in the clubhouse.
Tom Shokins, we're waiting for his Alejandro filly score right now. That was the last one. This is Giacomo leading his Alejandro filly, number 35, Malata Alfabia. She is a March baby.
Well, she's down to business.
She knows her job, doesn't she?
Into it.
She has the big try.
I think that horse can win in our scoring system. I'm really into this filly right now.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is
a
a
group of
very
good
nice
fillies,
filly.
but she keeps just like judging. Every time you peek at her, she's
Well,
doing something special.
What'd he do? He did a 92.7.
There we go. Tom Shokins jumps to lead with a 92.17 with Rashida Al-Khashab.
And tell me his numbers, why he did, Rory. What do you see there that
Well,
makes it stand out?
We got a couple of 20s through his scoring, lots of 19.5s, but he gets a 20 for type.
20 for head and neck.
20 and 19.5 is the balance. Body and top line are 18.5 to 19s. His leg scores are no lower than 15.5. And he had solid movement scores, 19s and 18.5s. But really in the type and the head and neck for Tom, takes the lead with Rashida Al-Khashab.
Raphael Curdy from Privilege breaks the gate, number 36, Saranza.
This might be the hottest filly in the fairgrounds.
By
They tell me
Cons
they got to
Albamea.
kind of work her down a little bit, Greg, before showtime because she gets so hot.
Out of Evening Serenade, who's a Marwan daughter. Al Sheikh Stud owns her. The breeder is Michael Bayat Arabians, who, by the way, is a great breeder. One of the best breeders in the world. Consistent and committed to the look. Michael's horses, like all great breeders, have a look. Michael likes and wants his horses to be a certain way. He judges them that way, he shows them that way, and he breeds them that way.
Fun place to visit.
And one time I said about Michael, he's probably not a horse trainer breeder. He's a breeder that happens to be a horse trainer. But Michael is a breeder in his heart.
This filly was silver, won her class silver Vegas last year. She was silver world champion here as a yearling last year. She's always in the medals at all the major shows. She's a lot of fun. She feels on today.
She has a motor.
Daughter Khan's Abadire.
Never forget, Arabian Essence TV has always been with you from the beginning. Oh, sort of a unique look. Giacomo Capecci just moved into the lead, 92.75. We're still waiting for ours to come up on the screen, the scoring, but we thought she looked like she was all about it and had a beautiful look. A great presentation. She's in the lead, 92.75 with Balada Al Afabia with Giacomo Capacci at the lead. Al Jassimia owns her, and bred by Alfabia Stud of Italy. She's by EKS Alejandro out of ZT Magna Psyche.
Right in that sweet spot, 92 to a 93.
Yeah, you're
puts
looking
you in the hunt.
In front of us now is the beautiful Saranza, who is very, very hot and is very stylish. She's by Kanzabadar out of Evening Serenade, who of course is a Marwan daughter. She's owned by Al Sheikh Stud of Israel and bred by Michael Bayat Arabians of the USA.
But Raphael, his horses, I know we're being redundant, but these guys are on their game. Their horses are turned out, they're fit, they're standing up showing like they're in Sao Paulo, they're trotting like they're in Dubai, and they're as beautiful as anything in Paris. It's a great combination of what they've got prepared this week. This filly's coming in looking nice. A lot of tail right out of the box. Giacomo with a second go. Suera.
Algessimia. Suera Algessimia. She's by SMA Magic 1 out of Baraka MP.
I believe she won Menton last year as a yearling filly.
She might have. She very well might have.
A lot of flair here, and she's given a big pass for him right there.
Owned and bred by Algessimia Stud Farm of Qatar and San Ynez Valley. Of course, Giacomo on the lead. His other filly is currently in the lead with 92.75.
Both owned by the same breeder and owner, Algessimia. They have some decisions if both of them qualify on Sunday. Getting right down to business. Stand up, adjust his little forelock there. Trainer's Obsession, OCD.
Yeah, that's always, you know, when I grab those four tops, I'm taking a moment to suck for air because I'm winded from running.
So do you hear, when you're showing a centering at a show this style like Vegas, do you hear the scores of that previous horse? Is that a distraction, or you're too focused?
I don't hear it at all.
I hear it if it's a big one because the crowd jumps and you hear those 19, 5, and 20. And if you're in the hunt and you're wondering, that's affecting the judges.
Yeah, if you're in the hunt, not so fun. If you hear a lot of noise and you're on one.
One last view in center ring here between the Eiffel Tower and the cafe scenery in center ring. 6 of the 8 judges judging each class. All 8 will judge the championships on Sunday.
And it is a different show on Sunday. It has nothing to do with what happened now. Everybody that makes it to the championship can be the winner.
Yeah, they set the arena up a little different. Different scoring system, comparative versus these are scored, carded classes today and tomorrow.
She feels good. Her tail's popped. Giacomo's walking her back. 2 in a row. He'll probably get a drink of water for his efforts. Good effort.
That's a strong breeding program.
For sure.
There we are. We're finished with Section A.
They're done with Section A of the 2-year-old, 3-year-old fillies.
And each one of those happened to be a 2-year-old today. That's our 3rd section we've completed now this morning. Excuse me, this afternoon in Paris, this morning in the United States, Brazil, and Canada. Quarter to 5 in Paris this early evening. Halfway through our schedule, Greg. 6 cuts today, our 3 classes.
9 a.m. in Scottsdale, Arizona. What do you think? It's sunny, 74?
A little dreary. I'm hearing reports that it's a little chilly today in Drury.
Oh yeah, you get those 65 for a lows.
Got to lock up the women and children. I think everybody went to the mall today in Scottsdale. Black Friday.
It's Black Friday, they're shopping. Thanksgiving, by the way, Rory and I want to take this opportunity to everybody in the States. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We missed it, but we ate it here. And we missed all of you, but we wouldn't trade it for being here. But happy Thanksgiving, our friends in America.
Closest we get was the chicken last time. It was excellent.
I know they're listening in Mexico, in South America, you know, Argentina, great breeders, Brazil, great breeders.
Australia.
Australia, and I'm not, anybody, if I don't mention, I'm sorry, they're all great breeders, they're so committed. China getting involved more and more. Israel, amazing. The Middle East, all the Middle East great breeders.
South Africa.
South Africa with all those couple major programs there.
Mainland Europe.
Yep, so this is it. This is the culmination. This is the World Championships. The best of the best. The beautiful people, enjoying every moment of it. They're in Paris. The restaurants are full. They're decorating for Christmas. It's a beautiful time here.
Suarez, Algeciras scores are now posted. She ends with a 90.75, so that puts her in 4th place, I believe, Greg.
So he's leading and he's 4th.
Chakma wins the class with Balada.
How did those Saranzamir, did we see her numbers?
I did not see her numbers.
Waiting for the computer board. We're having a little trouble getting it to our computer.
Here she is. Rashida Al-Khashab is the winner of the best head scores for this class, Section A.
And that's the one that was led by Tom Shokins, an Alejandro daughter, out of Symphony of Love.
Now, each class prior to this, the best head winner was the class winner. That's not going to happen in this class. Crowd connections, excited. Each class this week will have a best head winner first announced before the placings. Mare hails from Kuwait. Lives in Belgium. A daughter of Alejandro, out of an El Nabili B daughter. Decorated filly. She's had a good year this year.
I noticed Tom likes the bow ties when he shows.
He's formal even if it's not after 6.
Yeah, well, he looks like Bond. He has a little James Bond look going.
There is first selfie of the day.
Yeah.
That's centering. Nice job.
Tune that up. Look at us. We made it.
What a sweet filly.
Yeah, he put his lead by her face. She thought it was a carrot. Give me that carrot. Wow, look at that eyeball.
Yeah, those are. You can see her eyeballs from behind.
Yeah.
They pop out those.
Even on the angle aside, yeah.
Again, the grooming, the blending of the clip job was fantastic there. And you still had to leave the eyelashes. It's easier to shave without the eyelashes.
Those eyes should look liquid, dark and liquid, like liquid eyes, and the eyeball should be pushed out again outside the case, you know, so it really sticks out. Big, huge, soft eyes.
She looks expensive.
Such a standard.
So it's not just the dish, the head, it's how the eye ties in for you, isn't it, for a good head score?
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely, and the tight ears and the muzzle, but yeah, those eyes have to be big. I see people sometimes judge and buy the fact that there's a dish. They got to have beautiful eyeballs. Beautiful eyeballs.
She is. Giacomo.
35, there's your winner, Balada Al-Afabia. She's owned proudly by Al Jassimia Farm of Qatar and bred by Alfabia Stud Italy. Congratulations to everybody. There's your winner. I believe she's the high score. Is she higher than? She has a high score of the show, though, right? So far, I don't think so. She certainly won the division at 92.75.
Section A. Here's the balance of the placings coming in through the in-gate area from the paddock. Tom Shokins ends up second.
There's Bart, the farm manager, and Robin Hopkinson, who is really, in some ways, the engine behind all that. She's the conditioner and the schooler, and she's so passionate of the Arabian horse. Nobody is more passionate of the Arabian horse than Robin.
It's a great professor. She could teach each one of us something. She has a lot of knowledge.
So knowledgeable. And passion to me is so important.
So Rashida Al-Kashab wins the best head and goes second in the class. Third is Saranza. And fourth is Suera Al-Jassimia, also presented by Giacomo. Nice group of 2-year-old fillies. Section A just finishing here. Section B about ready to come in the ring in moments. Again, to be redundant, but another solid class. A lot of depth. Bloodlines from around the world. A little varied bloodlines. Different styles of fillies. Well represented here. Section A of the junior females.
There's our benefactor, Al Sheikh Stud, the sponsor of our live feed. And thank you again to ArabianEssenceTelevision.com. Without them, we couldn't be here today, and we are very thankful.
A lot of happy people down there.
Yep.
It's a long year to get to this point.
Yep, for sure. Sometimes it's just the pressure goes off, and they will be what they be later. And once the pressure's off, they can all have a great Christmas season and then go back to work. Next year, we'll bring another group of beautiful babies worldwide, and we'll see those someday. The weanlings are being weaned and getting ready for the show seasons coming, whether it's Scottsdale or the Middle East.
Middle East is even starting a little bit in the last month. They've started. It's warm there. They're ready to go.
And we sort of got a taste of the weanlings at the Breeders' Finals. They just, one of the few major shows that have the weanling show at their horse show, and we saw them in October. Some beautiful weanlings. Here's our winner with Giacomo Capacci, number 35. Al Jassimia owns it. Alfabia is the breeders.